Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Jesse. I go by the Veteran Flipper on YouTube, and today is Monday morning. I'm getting ready to pull some sales. I had some really awesome sales this past weekend. Not a whole lot, but definitely some really good ones. A pretty big sale, but I did pay up for it, so I want to go over the exact dollar figure that I made in profit on that sale, and then I also want to go over a few topics. So let's get into today's video. All I got going on today is up on my sign shelf where I like to put all my signs, and at least the smaller signs. And I seen this at a yard sale for $2. I naturally look past a lot of beer signs, mainly because beer signs nowadays, they sell really slow. I remember during the COVID times, signs were flying off the racks for me, and they just don't sell as fast as they used to. But when I seen this one there and it was only $2, I thought it was very unique. The cell phone service was really bad there, but I looked it up later on after the sale, and I found one listed for $88 and with some watchers on it. So I figured somebody would be interested, but I definitely did not think that this would sell anywhere close to 88. Just because you got watchers doesn't mean that you're gonna get a sale anywhere close to your asking price. But I went ahead and listed it. I want to say for like 50 or 60 bucks. I put my acceptable offer amount pretty low, so that offer amount, I put it where I feel comfortable selling it, and I felt comfortable selling this at like 30 bucks plus shipping, and somebody offered me 37, and I went ahead and took it because it's a lot more than $2. So that being said, I would say the topic I want to talk about with that is just taking a chance on items, especially when they're cheap enough. I'll tell you what, I've been getting a bunch of listings done lately, and some of this stuff, it's not big ticket stuff, but it's affordable stuff, and it's actually selling. These next two sales, I want to talk about eBay fees, because honestly, they both kind of caught me off guard. This first one is an item that's already was pre-packaged, because I figured it would sell for some decent money, and I didn't want it to get damaged during my commute or whatever from New Jersey to New York. So I went ahead and pre-packaged this item because I didn't want nothing to happen to it. This Sim Pure water purification little countertop system right here sold for $75 plus shipping. Paid $6 for it at a thrift store in Pennsylvania, maybe 6 months ago or something like that. And it went ahead and sold $75 plus shipping. The eBay fees on it came to 13%. So definitely made some amazing profit. But I thought that it was interesting that the eBay fees on this came to 13%. And the next sale that we got going on is on this shelf right here, and that is this Philco tube radio. Pretty much all the radios that I picked up about 2 weekends ago at that yard sale out there in the country, they were all pretty much listed as for parts or repair. They had some sort of issue with it, either they didn't even power on or play. But for parts or repair, old tube radios, they can still bring some money, but you got to make sure that you're not overpaying for them. I kind of paid up a little bit on maybe 2 of these, but I do think that I'll make some decent profit, and for the amount of work that I put in, like I said, all good. So this one right here sold for $35 plus shipping. I have about 15 bucks into it, but honestly, after I've been reselling for a little bit, I would have thought that the fees on this would have been closer to like $5-6, and they were not. They were actually $10 in fees on this. So after my cost of goods and everything, I'm only making $10 profit on this tube radio, which I was thinking about. It's really not the best. For me, I would say I've been looking at the eBay fees lately, and it's kind of making me think that I'm going to start making my offers a little bit lower. And I know that some people, they watch YouTubers and they're like, oh, this guy's a low baller or whatever. But I'm looking at what's best for me, financially. And I have been noticing that a lot lately. After I account for fees and everything, the profit's not quite where I want it to be. Now, the amount of money that I'm making for the amount of time that I'm putting in, I do think that it is good. It's just not quite where I want it to be. Are the numbers like gonna cause me to fail? No, definitely not. And I've been doing this for years, and I've been doing perfectly fine with my profit margins, but I would like them to be a little bit better. So I would probably encourage you to look a little bit closer at your eBay fees, because you might be shocked, honestly, what your actual take-home profit is. That TV that I picked up in the last yard sale video that ended up being listed for parts or repair, and not fully working condition. sold that for $40 plus shipping, and I would have thought that the eBay fees on that would have actually been more, and the fees on that actually only came to like just shy of $6. So like I said, you'd be kind of shocked to see what your eBay fees are. We're not going to get into eBay fees on everything that sells today, but I am going to talk about it on the biggest sale that we had today because I'm curious how much money I actually made. The next sale right here is a Pokemon card, and this sale right here would have not have happened if it wasn't for customer service. So that's a little quick topic I want to talk about as far as this sale right here. I sent out an offer on this for like $10.95. $11 free shipping. Don't have many items listed in my store for free shipping, but I like stuff like this. I picked up a bunch of Pokemon cards a few years ago, and this is like one of the last few that are actually left. And I made like $300-400 on that deal. Would have made more if I probably would have got them graded, but I'm more of a like just try to like sell it as is type of seller. And someone asked me to send them a picture of the front of the card and the back. Like a better picture. Maybe they just didn't like the photos that I took. That's fine. I went ahead and sent them the pictures as soon as I started doing eBay stuff for the day. And as soon as I sent them the pictures, they looked at it. They saw that this was a really nice card. And they went ahead and accepted my offer for $10.95 plus shipping. So what I want to say about that is make sure you respond to your messages. Don't just ignore potential buyers. Sometimes if you're getting a bunch of questions, I understand. Like some people will just say, hey, just go ahead and block this person because they're probably going to be a bad buyer. But I'm not going to lie, I've done that before too, where I was like, yeah, this is a buyer I do not want to deal with, especially when they start asking really weird questions. They might be more of a headache than anything. But they asked me just straight up, can you send 2 pictures? I went ahead and sent them 2 pictures. They accepted the offer. Sometimes you reply to a buyer and it doesn't necessarily convert to a sale, but the amount of time that it took me to do that was worth it. So, but let's get into the next sale. Actually, the next sale should be over here by my Halloween stuff. I just listed this Hocus Pocus costume right here. I picked this up at the yard sale for $1, and I just didn't get around to listing it. But I went ahead and just pretty much pulled it out, make sure there's no rips or tears. And I went ahead and just listed it right in the packages, used good condition, and it sold for $18 plus shipping. Someone sent me an offer on this, and I was like $1.18. I was like, I'm more than good with that, and it's a quick and easy pack. So, and then the next sale I got going out is on this shelf right here. Just listed this about a week ago. We got this Barbie radio. I just picked this up at a yard sale for $2. The woman that was selling it said that she would sell it for $1. I offered to pay $2, and somebody offered me $34 plus shipping. And the topic I want to talk about with this is this, I believe everything was working. The top handle was broken on it, so you couldn't actually pick it up by the handle. Missing the microphone, and it had some scratches on it. And what I want to say about that is exactly how you see it, exactly how it works. Like, describe that in your listing so you don't end up with a pissed off buyer. If the CD player doesn't work, make sure you say that the CD player doesn't work. If there's a crack on the back of it, make sure you say that there's a crack on the back. If it's missing the battery compartment, make sure you say that. If you're able to use an item on a power cord and on D batteries or C batteries, make sure you test it and specifically say it works on D batteries, 6D batteries. I always put in parentheses batteries not included. That way you don't have a buyer that is pissed off because they didn't get 6D batteries for free, which we already know is kind of expensive. So make sure you describe all that. So yeah, the thing I want to hit home on that is just make sure you're testing your items thoroughly and describing them to the best of your ability. All right, so I went ahead and packaged up all the previous orders that I just showed you guys. The last sale that I got going out is actually in 3 different boxes because it is a huge dinnerware set that I picked up. I paid $500 for this set, and I have been trying to sell that set forever, and it finally sold. I've actually been trying to send out offers on this for less than what it sold for. Somebody offered me $900 plus shipping, and I finally got this thing sold. But it is in 3 different boxes. Let me just say this for like anyone that's just getting into shipping and whatnot. there's no real accurate way to charge shipping on a massive lot like this. When I went to go list this lot, I pretty much had everything stacked up in a box. Not these boxes, but a box. And then what I always try to teach you guys is to go 2-3 inches on each side. That way you got plenty of room for bubble wrap, packaging material, and etc. So that's kind of what we did here, but there was no complete accurate way of knowing what to charge. The buyer paid $84.91 to get this stuff shipped, and I do not think that it will ship for that. This box alone right here is probably going to cost a pretty penny. The way that I like to do is I'm actually going to print, don't just ignore this because I didn't put the dimensions in or any of that, but we're most likely going to ship this one UPS ground. Because we're shipping that one UPS ground, I'm going to ship all of them UPS ground. I'm going to print out this box right here, the big one. I always like to print out the big one through eBay, and then I'll print the other 2 shipping labels out through pirateship.com. All right, so I just got done putting shipping labels on the 3 packages, and I got the numbers for every single thing that I paid down to the penny written down right here on this piece of paper. And it is shocking, not gonna lie. But this deal, honestly, I thought that this dinnerware set was gonna sell for way more. If some of you guys that have been watching for a while, when I made that video and the thumbnail and all that, I thought I thought I had something big. $3,000. $3,000. All right, so what are we thinking? 500? All right, you're the man. All right. And it just kept dropping the price, and it just kept not selling. And like I said, someone offered $900 plus $84.91 shipping, which did not cover it, but we're going to break down the numbers right here. I want to say one more thing before I go over these numbers. It took a long time to lay this stuff out and photograph it, describe it, all that. After everything was said and done, it took me 1 hour just to list this set and just to get it listed. Literally 1 hour to get everything laid out, describe everything in the description, explain the quantity of everything, and do all that, the photographing, showing the measurements, all that stuff. Trying to create a solid listing for a set this big. It took me 1 hour. That's exactly what it came to. Time day was like down to literally the second, 1 hour. And then packaging took me a total of 1 hour and 10 minutes to package those 3 boxes when I was in New Jersey, because this whole set was packaged before I even moved. So just want to start off by saying that. So just that right there, I got about 2 hours and 10 minutes of work just into that. On top of obviously the $500 I invested to hopefully flip for a profit. So yeah, sold for $900. eBay fees came to $135.80. Shipping box number 1, the shipping on that did come to $53, and that was with the signature confirmation. Usually over a certain dollar amount, signature is required. I think it's like $800, $750, $800 or something like that. I paid another $13 for insurance for that package specifically, because that one has like the big like stuff in it. So I paid an additional $13. I've gotten this question before plenty of times, like, do I insure everything? No, I do not. I just typically just go with the $100 insurance for most things, up to maybe like $400 or $500, and then I might add additional insurance. And honestly, the amount of money that I've saved in insurance is well worth it. But just because that works for me, that might not work for you. And honestly, like, I package the heck out of my stuff. Regardless how it looks, I package the heck out of my packages. Those 3 boxes over there, they're all like double box. The cups, bowls, all this stuff in the dinnerware set are divided with pieces of boxes. I use packing paper, bubble wrap, all that stuff. And I'll get into that in a minute. So that total box for the total for box number 1 came to $66.72. And as you remember, the buyer paid $84.91. So right off the back, I was like, I already knew I was going to lose money, because I was like, I still got 2 more smaller boxes to ship. Box number 2 came to $19.91, which I think put me just over, right around what the buyer paid. And then box number 3 came to $21.89 for shipping, which total shipping cost was $108.52. And I did write this down because I was curious for anyone that is also curious. I lost $23.61 on the shipping. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose on shipping. But when you're talking about that huge of a lot, to lose $23.61 on shipping, I think is actually pretty solid. It's pretty accurate. Yeah, could I have charged way more and then maybe it never sold? Maybe. Okay, but I'm very happy with that I came that close for estimating shipping, because estimating shipping is definitely a skill. And I can tell you right now, when I first started selling, I sold this speaker set and I lost $50 on shipping a speaker set, and it scared the crap out of me. I was like, wow, I was like, this is hard, and the more you do it, the more repetition, it becomes super easy. I can tell you right now, 99% of the packages that I ship out, they are spot on. The charges are spot on. Sometimes I lose $1 or two, and sometimes I make $1 or two. So that's why everything just kind of works itself out. But so that leaves us with a total of $740.59 minus our $500 cost of goods, which leaves us with a total profit of $240.59. I know someone's going to talk about packaging material, boxes, gas. We're not going to. Oh, let's talk about packaging. Boxes, if you watch my channel, you know I get all my boxes for free from the backside of the Dollar General. The Dollar General is even closer than it ever was. So that's awesome. And then the packing paper, all that, a lot of that already came when with the dinnerware set when I bought it. But I did use bubble wrap. My bubble wrap guy, like I said, in New Jersey, super cheap. There's no way out of all those boxes that I paid more than $5 between bubble wrap and tape. And that's being very conservative. I doubt it was even that. So minus that $5, that leaves us a total profit $235.59 for a $500 investment. Yes, profit margin wise, that's not the best. But the way that I look at it, and I looked at it for years, and I actually heard someone say this, a guy that doesn't even do YouTube anymore, Osborne to Thrift, for some of y'all that have been around the reselling scene for a while, you know who I'm talking about. But I remember he said one time, it's not even just about the profit that you make, you also get your original investment back. So I'll get $235.59 plus my $500 original cost of goods. I get that back, and now I can use that to buy more awesome inventory. You never know what I'm going to buy on this channel. And or I can use it to pay my bills. I can use it to go out to dinner or whatever I want to do. So, but $235.59 total profit after about 2 hours and 10 minutes of work, which is about $100 an hour. So the time that it took me to do it, definitely well worth the time. Would I invest $500 for a similar set again? I would not. Would I buy a set like this again? I would, but I wouldn't pay $500 again. I would maybe dish out a couple $100. But that's going to do it for the video. If you got anything from the video, as always, please consider smashing the like button. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I've been trying to post 2 videos per week, every Wednesday and Sunday. Sometimes I just don't have stuff to make content about. But here's a video, a what sold video. But that's going to do it for the video. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. The Veteran Flipper out. Peace.